Hello, everybody. What's going on? How are you all doing? Let me know in the chat if you all can hear me. Let me know. Let me know. All right, let me pull up the comments. Let's see here. Comments. Yes. Okay, perfect. This is going to be like an audio only live stream. And I wanted to come here and have a conversation. Okay. Chat, how are you all doing? Also, if you don't mind, make sure you share this live stream with someone so they can be tuned in. But nevertheless, I am going to be doing a audio only live stream. All right. So let me introduce myself very quickly and then we're going to get into today's topic. My name is Audria Richmond and I am a marketing and launch strategist. I work directly with my clients to teach them how to build uncloned brands and launch profitable marketing campaigns. We are the brand that you come to when you want to become the obvious choice of your industry. All right. Cool beans. So, I want to have this conversation because there's a lot of information in the marketplace that, in my opinion, okay, this is all my opinion. And this conversation was not on the docket. It was not something that I pre-planned. I was participating in a piece of content and I was listening to the video and I was just thinking to myself, like, this is so wrong. Have y'all ever had that moment? Just put me in the chat. Like, have you ever like been a part of a piece of content and you were like, this is detrimental to your community. Like, I cannot believe you're sharing this, saying this. You know, I can't believe you're doing this to your community. But nevertheless, I said, well, this would be a great opportunity for me to talk to my community. And this is more so like for you all to kind of take a step back and observe your business, because I know there's a lot of people who teach a lot of different things. And I'm a part of a lot of groups, and people are always asking for referrals and like, who can I get to help me do this? And who can I help? Who can I get to help me do that? And so I'm very familiar with, people looking for people and this, that, and the third, right? But the reason that I wanted to have this conversation is because I feel like there's two types of people out there that teach and educate on how to get clients. You have the one-on-one, one-by-one coach selling, social media post writing people. And then you have the launch people, which I fall into that camp, that one-to-many create the most leverage, right? And so I feel like there's two camps of people. And depending on where you are in your business, depending on what stage you are in, depending on how much revenue you've generated, depending on your level of, how you see yourself, that's going to play a huge part in what type of marketing that you take place in. Just put yes in the chat if y'all get where I'm going with this, because I'm going to take my time with this, because I really want to talk about this in a way where you can come back and reference this live stream and be able to say to yourself, like, oh, okay, I get what Audria was saying, but I really need to spend some time thinking about that, because you know what, she got a point. For some of you all have really big dreams. You have really big goals. You have a lot of things that you want to do, right? You all, when we have intake forms that we ask people to do with our lunch circle. And one of the questions we ask people when they join the lunch circle is how big of a lunch you want to do, right? And people say, I want to do a $10,000 lunch. I want to do a $20,000 lunch. I want to do a $30,000 lunch. And they tell me these really, 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 really big numbers. And then when we ask them, hey, how much have you done in the past year? It is really, really different from that number, that goal, right? And this is more so like a goal conversation. Like, what are your goals? Like, how hard do you want to work? That's really what this conversation is about. It's like, how hard do you want to work to attract clients? And the reason I'm asking that is because, again, like I said, there's two camps of people. There's the make social media posts and have people DM you and do one-on-one calls people. And then you have the one-to-many people like myself who teach launching and, other forms of marketing where you can talk. You could basically do a lot when you're marketing one to many. But I want to give you two sides to the equation so you can choose. I'm not saying one is right or wrong, but I want to give you the option to choose, because what I don't like is when people feel like you don't need all that other stuff, you only need this. Or you don't need this, you need that. And I don't like that way of teaching, because you remove the thing which our brand is about, which is individuality and choice. Right? It's individuality and choice. And so when you revoke someone's opportunity to process and think through what it is that they want to do for themselves, it's disabling, because it's not allowing that person to choose what makes sense for them. Okay? So let's talk about goals. Okay? And I'm just going to give you scenarios. Okay? Now, both of these scenarios will get you to the same goal. Really quick, somebody tell me how much money you want to make in the next 90 days. Just drop a number in the chat for me real quick. I can see all the comments over here. It doesn't matter if you're watching it on YouTube, Facebook, LinkedIn. I don't really care where you're watching and tuning in from, but let me know in the chat really quickly, how much money would you like to generate in the next 90 days? Okay, I'm going to use that as a marker. Okay. And like I said, I'm going to give you situations. I'm not going to tell you what's right or wrong. I want you to kind of come to your own conclusion. That's the game we're playing here. All right. So I see someone said $10,000 in the next 90 days, $2,000 realistically. That's what someone said, $2,000, $10K plus in the next 90 days. Okay, cool. So let's talk about this. It's a few ways you can go about it. And the first thing we have to start with is your offer. What are you selling? Sometimes your revenue goal may not make sense for the time in which you want to do it because of what you sell. I hope that makes sense. So let me get my calculator, because we're going to have some fun. Okay. I see 25,500, $10,000, 25,000, 2,500, 10K. Okay, cool. So let's do a real life scenario, and I'm gonna use myself as an example, and then I want to give you all an opportunity to think through this. So let's say I'm gonna go with let's say I wanted to make $25,000 in the next 90 days, okay? And let's say based on my product suite, right? Let's say I'm selling a $25 product. That's cool. Just put cool in the chat. I'm gonna sell a $25 product. So if I wanted to make $25,000, 500. So let's say I want to make $25,000 and I'm selling a $25 product. I would need to sell 1,000 units, right? 1,000 products, okay, in order to get to that 25,000. That's selling a $25 product, okay? So the thing you want to ask yourself is, if you're gonna do that, you want to ask yourself, how big of a email list do I have? How big of an SMS list I have? I'm talking about a text message list. How much reach do I have across all social media channels, right? Do I have a Facebook group I can leverage? Do I have a Facebook business page I can leverage? Do I have a personal profile that got a lot of people that's following me? Do I have a significant following on Instagram? How much reach do I have? because that plays a huge role in whether or not I want to, get 1,000 people to buy this $25 product. Then the next thing you have to think about once you get past what you have access to is, do I have enough reach to hit my goal? And I'm gonna let y'all like figure this out for a moment. If I wanted to reach 1,000 people and I had 100 followers, how likely am I to sell 1,000 units at $25? Okay. If I have 100 followers and I wanted to sell 1,000 people my $25 product, what is the likelihood of that happening? Okay. Because this is the stuff that nobody really talks about when they're trying to teach you all how to make, quote unquote, a bunch of money, right? It's like for some reason they leave out all the logistics and statistics that make it make sense, right? And this is why a lot of people have these huge outrageous goals without taking account for, what do I have access to? Now, let's use that same scenario. Let's say I have 100 people that follow me, but guess what? I can reach more people if I'm willing to spend some money on advertising. I can reach more people if I'm willing to go out and speak. I can reach more people if I'm willing to, maybe do a webinar with an association that has my target audience. I could possibly reach 1,000 people if I can go and get interviewed by someone who has a bigger platform than me. Are you able to kind of see how like we could go from this 100 may not be as bad because we can leverage other people's audience, right? And so we already talked about, like, okay, we got our goal. We said 25K. We talked about the product, $25. We talked about the logistics, like how many people can I reach, so on and so forth. The next question I want to ask you is, how do you want to sell? Because that's what really triggered this whole entire live stream. How do you want to sell? Some of you all have to make a choice. Do you want to sell one-on-one, or do you want to sell one-to-many? Neither is wrong. Okay? Neither is wrong. I can go and say, "Hey guys, I'm selling a $25 product. Who send me a DM, who want to book a one-on-one with me?" Does that even make sense? Just put yes or no in the chat. Again, like I said, it's not right or wrong. It's just a matter of how hard do you want to work? Do you want to do a 1,000 one-on-one calls to make $25,000 selling a $25 product? Is this all making sense now? Because when a lot of people start telling you, you don't need this, you don't need that, you can do this without that, they're not really telling you how much work it takes to do what they're talking about. That's the thing that probably hands down frustrates me, right? So if you wouldn't do 1,000, and let's say this, it's not even about you doing 1,000 one-on-one calls. You would actually need to do 2-3 times that many calls in order to get 1,000. So who got time to do 3,000 one-on-one sales calls to sell a $25 product in order to hit a goal of 1,000 units sold to make $25,000? That's all I'm saying. Now let's use another scenario. Okay. Let's say you decide to do a webinar as an example. Most webinars can have about, depending on your account that you pay for, but you can pretty much go live on a social media platform where the numbers are not limited, but you lose that intimacy. However, let's say you're going to do a webinar and you have an account with 500 people, right? Like you can get 500 people on your you can get 500 people on your webinar, right? And you're still selling a $25 product. Does that offer still make sense? Right? Even if you're doing one-to-many, that offer still doesn't make sense based on your goal. Okay? Now you would have to reduce your goal because of the situation, or you can get the 500 people. One, you could have a 100% sales close rate, which that doesn't happen. You could have a 100% close rate where you get all 500 people to buy something, but guess what? You still don't hit your goal. You still need you still need more people. So the only way to do that is to get the people that's on there to buy two $25 products instead of one. And if you had 100% conversion rate. So we all know that 100% conversion rates don't exist. Okay. Like, you might have 99.9, you might have 98, you might have 90, but nobody is getting 100. Okay. I had a retreat a couple years ago and we had everybody sign up except one person. So there's no such thing as 100% conversion, right? So if we know that to be true, then the bigger question to ask ourselves is, how hard do I want to work? And how hard do I want to work for whatever it is that I'm selling? Now let's use a different scenario. Let's still use the $25,000 in the next 90 days. And let's say this time we're selling a $250 product. Okay. Let's say we're selling a $250 product. So we take $25,000, we divide it by 250. Now we only need 100 people. You see how we drastically reduce the amount of people we need by changing the price. We changed the offer 250. You only need 100 people to make the 25,000. Does it make sense? Like, you only need 100 people to spend $250 in order for you to make the $25,000. Right? Now, if you had to do about 200 calls, 250 sales calls, that's not too bad, right? But who got that kind of time? Do y'all got that kind of time to be on calls and DMs and writing social media posts all day? Let me know. Because there's some people who be like, I make all my money without running one single ad, but they are a slave to social media. They're always on social media. I'm talking about I could see them on social media. I could take a nap. I could get back up, but they still on social media. I don't know about you, but I'm not trying to live my whole damn life on social media. Matter of fact, I just downloaded an app about a week ago. I just downloaded an app a week ago to block social media. I'm not trying to be on social media like that. I like to work smart. This is one of the reasons why I teach launching. Okay? No, it's not the most sexiest thing to do because it requires effort. And most people who have a problem with it don't want to work hard. They want it to be easy. If I could make, 30 social media posts as opposed to sitting down and creating a campaign to do a webinar or a challenge, I'm probably going to pick the 30 social media posts because that's so much easier. But you all already know that easy doesn't equal a bunch of money. You get what I'm saying? And so using that scenario, right? If we wanted to get, let's say using the same scenario, I'm selling a $250 product. Let's say I get 500 people on my webinar. Is it a possibility for me to close 100 people at $250 if I have a really good pitch? If I make a good offer? So the reason I'm saying this is because there's nothing wrong with one-on-one. There's nothing wrong with one-to-many. It all boils down to what I said earlier. Number one, how much reach do you have? It boils down to your actual offer. It boils down to the price of your offer. It boils down to how hard do you want to work? Let me know in the chat. How hard do you want to work? Did you change your offer, not just the price? I only changed the price. But I would obviously have to change the offer because obviously I can't sell something that was $25 for $250. It would totally be a new offer. Hopefully that makes sense. Hopefully that makes sense for the person. I can't see your name because I'm assuming you're in the Facebook group because some of you all say Facebook user. There's a little button on Restream in the caption where you could click and let me see your name. I can't see your name, so I'm just reading the comments. But I just wanted to say this because there's a lot of misinformation around how to make money, right? How to make money online and this, that, and the third. And I've been doing this for 15 years. And I will tell you, there was a time when I did one-on-one calls and my calendar was booked to the max. Okay. Matter of fact, let me see if I can pull up that slide really quick. Give me 1 second. I'm going to show y'all what doing one-on-one calls look like on a calendar, just to put this in perspective. And again, I don't have no qualms around one-on-one calls, but it's just a matter of are you doing one-on-one calls because you're terrified of doing a lunch? Okay, great. But if you're just doing one-on-one calls because you think that launching is a lot of work, I double dare you to compare. It's like people always say, like, launching is a lot of work. It's a lot of work. You know what else is a lot of work? TikToking for 30 days straight, making 3 posts a day. That's a lot of work. You get what I'm saying? Like, whew. But anyway, the moral of this conversation is, how hard do you want to work, right? How hard do you want to work with your people? How hard do you want to put yourself out there to get a client? One of the reasons why I absolutely love launching is because it's the only marketing vehicle that allows me to have impact and income at the same time. Period. It's the only thing. So let me show you. I'm trying to see if y'all can see this. Let me bring it on screen. Give me 1 second. This is a number 7. Okay, I'm downloading the photo real quick so y'all can see it. Give me 1 second. I hope y'all can see it. All right. Okay. All right, can y'all see this? Hopefully you can see this. So I don't know if y'all can see this. Hopefully you can, but as you can see, this was my calendar in 2020. Okay? This was my calendar in 2020. Okay? And it's crazy because I'll never in my life want to work like that again. I don't give a damn how much money, income potential there are, right? The way that we have our calendar set up now is that we coach our clients 1 week out of the entire year. And then the other 3 weeks we may spend doing a marketing campaign where we're selling one to many. Okay. I'm doing one event to sell to, anywhere as low as 10 people all the way up to hundreds of people. And I could do that at one time with one appointment and one event. That's one of the reasons why I absolutely love launching. Now, let's just say I didn't know how to launch, right? And I was selling the launch circle. And the launch circle at the time of this recording is $247 a month. So if I wanted to enroll 500 people in a year, how many sales calls would I have to have? How many social media posts would I have to make in order to get 500 people to enroll inside of the UnCloned Launch Circle? So when you hear people say, like, I made $1 million without having to do this, and okay, yeah, you sell high ticket. You know how easy it is to make $1 million or millions of dollars when you sell high ticket? Matter of fact, let me give you some math real quick. Let's say, and I'm gonna go from $30,000 a year to $50,000 a year. If you sell a $30,000 a year program, let's say you wanted to make $1 million, okay? Because it's not rocket science, y'all. I know y'all see people online and they be flashing stuff. And look, y'all, I done did it all. I done made money from low ticket and high ticket. I done it all, okay? At the end of the day, you have to find your piece, whatever that is for you. So let's say $1 million, right? Let's say you want to make $1 million. So $1 million divided by $30,000, you only need 33 clients. Let's just round up 34 clients. That's everybody on here. You only need 34 clients at $30,000 in order to make $1 million. Let's take it up a notch. Let's say you have a $50,000 program. So to make $1 million in a year and you're selling a $50,000 program, okay, you only need 20 clients. You only need 20 clients to give you $50,000 to make $1 million. Let's take it up a notch. Let's say $75,000. Okay, so $1 million divided by $75,000, that is 14 clients. You only need 14 clients. Oh, let's take it up even more. Let's say you a big dog. You got $100,000 package. Oh, you only need 10 people. So when you hear people say, I did 5, I did 10, I did 20, I did 30, they selling high ticket, y'all. 9 times out of 10, they selling high ticket. So all I'm saying is, if you're going to be on the lower end of the spectrum where you're selling something in the $35, $50, $100, it is all about how many people can you get in front of and how many people can you convert. So you can decide, do I want to sell something that's $20, $25, $30, $40, $50, $100, you know, 250, 500, 1,000, 1,500, 2,000, so on and so forth. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50. I sound like the dude, right? So as you can see, it's totally up to you. There is no right or wrong. So when you see people saying the only way to do this and the only way to do that, all this screams to me is that you are an amateur. You have mastered one way of selling, and now you're trying to make it seem like, and anybody who don't sell outside of the one way you master, they are a scam. It just really blows me because it's unfair. Because you're not giving people an opportunity to choose what sales process makes sense to them. Now tell me in the comments, because one of the things we talk about in our offer system is about living your lifestyle, having lifestyle goals. And so based on your life, how much do you want to work? That's the question. How hard do you want to work to attract clients? That's the question. I really want y'all to think about that. There is no right or wrong. If you can build up the belief and the confidence and create a compelling offer that has results, then charge high ticket. Or if you feel like, oh, ain't nobody gonna ever pay me $5,000. No one would ever pay me 10. No one would ever pay me 25. If you don't believe you can get that, then go to the other side of the spectrum. Do you believe you can get $100? Do you believe you can get 1,000? Do you believe you can get 1,500? Do you believe you can get 25? What do you believe? Let me know in the chat. What do you believe? Because that's a direct reflection of what your bank account gonna look like this year. Now, I'm not saying go out and charge high ticket, because everybody can't do high ticket, mainly because they don't deliver superb services. However, if you are gonna play in the high ticket game, your experience and customer service needs to match, as well as the results. Some people can't demand that because they just don't even show up like they can demand it. So I want you to be honest with yourself. I want you all to think about this. I want you all to process what this means to you. All right. So anyway, do we have any questions? Let me know in the chat if we have any questions. If so, I want to make sure that I address everyone and go from there. All right. Let's see. Any questions? Let's see. I'm looking at the comments. So if you're on Facebook, YouTube, LinkedIn, or whatever, let me know if you have any questions. Now would be the time to ask your questions. Let me look at this really quick. Let's see. I missed the whole discussion. Will there be a replay? Yes. As soon as I'm finished recording, which is when I end this live, you can go back and watch the beginning. What is the threshold for something to be high ticket? You can go as high as you want. You can go as high as you want. And what I mean by that is when you start getting into the corporate side of things and the corporate contracts, people do multi 7-figure deals on a daily. Like, people are selling out here, buying companies for 100 million, 300 million, 500 million. It's totally up to you, right? It's based on what you're offering and what you're selling and the value you're going to bring in exchange for that. Let's see. Do you teach your clients Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, or Google ads? We teach how to market online. Like we don't, like when you join our program, we teach you how to market on these platforms. Hopefully they answered your question. First time offers, what is needed in a package? It depends on what you're selling. Give me a little bit about what you're selling. All of this really boils down to confidence and authority and credibility. Confidence, authority, and credibility. How you all show up is a direct reflection of what you'll be able to get. Yeah, I sell to schools, so I offer big ticket. Absolutely, right? Like you could go to a school and do a multi-six-figure deal, or even a 7-figure deal, depending on, is it a licensing deal? Are you, is it a curriculum deal? Are you like, what are you doing? So all of these offers, when I say offers, is really what you sell. and your what you sell is directly tied to your expertise. Should I offer tiered pricing for a membership? You can, but I don't recommend starting off. It's a nightmare. Okay, it's a nightmare. I do not. If this is your very first, excuse me, if this is your very first membership, no. This is one of the reasons why we only have one level to the UnCloned Learn Circle. We used to have a membership called UnCloned Marketing Membership, and in that membership, we had the loft and we had the penthouse. And the loft was like $199, $197 a month, and then we had the penthouse, which was like $250, $350 a month. And it just wasn't worth it to have two levels because you have to have two sets of emails that go out from a communication perspective. And even though they may still get the same deliverables, that you still have to give something extra to the people that's on the, second, third, fourth tier. So to simplify it, I would kind of I would stair step into having multiple tiers. I would start one tier and then introduce new tiers as it makes sense, right? Like for instance, we've had the launch circle for a year. I thought about adding like a something that could be mid mastermind, so maybe not completely mastermind, but mid mastermind where it comes with like lunch planning and so on and so forth. So yeah. Babe, can you bring me some water? Okay. I just joined, but I have a question. How do you attract clients quickly without seeming desperate? My full-time job will likely end in 30 to 60 days, so I need to move quicker than expected. Love your advice. What are you selling? Tell me what you're selling. Also, what are your skills? Okay, so let's see. Tell me what you sell. And let me know. I wish there was a way to bring y'all on here to talk to me. I think if I would have did this on Zoom or something, it would probably been easier for me to like unmute you. But tell me about, what you're selling. Tell me about, what the offer is, so on and so forth. Content strategy, digital marketing, SEO, content creation, and website development. Is that a service you're offering on YouTube? I think there is. It is. I don't know. I've been in the business before myself working with large clients. So if you're doing like content strategy, digital marketing and SEO, that's vague. That's like a menu of stuff, right? If you had to pinpoint it to like one offer, what's that one thing that you could start marketing and get clients for? So like I don't know what you make on your job, but let's say you make $5,000 a month, because I don't know what your salary is. But let's say you make $5,000 a month. If you say you're gonna be doing, out of everything you said right now, people would love to pay for like a content strategy session. People love if you can do content creation for them. And then website development. Website, unless you're doing like funnel development, anything along those lines, websites is still in demand, but more so for like companies, right? But if you're talking about more so on the entrepreneurial side, you could do really well putting together content strategies, plans for people, and content creation. We're actually, when we launch our certification in March, one of our designations is being able to create content plans for our clients. So I know that'll be a demand for that. Okay, so let me see. I've been in business before myself. Okay, I answered it already. My offers was going to be a digital business accelerator. What does that mean? That's vague. So are you saying I'm gonna teach you how to launch an online business? That's pretty vague. Yeah, I want to move away from website development. I like to stick to content strategy, editorial plans, marketing, and PR. So when you all are putting your offers together, it need to be crystal clear. So when I say, hey, join the Uncloned Launch Circle, basically it's like, what is the launch circle? Inside the launch circle, we teach you how to master launching. The end. There is no extra stuff. Yes, I can take you to the sales page, show you everything that comes with it. But if I'm talking to somebody, I need to be as crystal clear as humanly possible on what we're going to help you do. Does that make sense what I'm saying? Get clear. So instead of giving people a menu of stuff, if you're trying to get clients fast, the first order of business is getting crystal clear on what you're going to offer. Even if you can offer all of those other services, allow that to be an opportunity for upsells, right? You don't have to sell them everything right there on the spot. You can sell them, let's say you sell them a content strategy first, and then say, hey, and then you upsell them on doing the plan. Or you could have two packages where it's like, content strategy by itself or content strategy plus a plan. And then you could add a third tier to that, which would be, this is how I would do it. Like if I was going to, because right now everybody is on content. So I would do like content strategy by itself or content strategy plus content plan. Or I would do content strategy, content plan, and then do it for you. Like where we go in on the back end and manage your social media based on the content strategy and plan. So those are three different tiers, right? So depending on who you're targeting and what type of content you're going to be creating will determine how I would approach pricing for that. So hopefully they answered your question. Can I ask the same question, but for fitness moms just need to understand how to attract clients faster? And I do have testimonials from previous clients. I'm going to offer challenges and one-on-one coaching. So you're saying how can you get clients quickly? Because that was the original question, right? So if you need clients like tomorrow, yes, one-on-one calls would be perfect. However, you can also put together a webinar for this weekend and start telling people you're doing it, and that's your form of one-to-many. So, but see, the issue runs into, well, I made a post and I told people I was offering calls, but maybe you only made one post. Did you talk about it all the time? Did you create compelling posts that made people want to book a call with you? Or were you just saying, I'm taking calls, I'm taking calls, I'm taking calls, I'm taking clients, I'm taking clients? It's all about how you position and create your content. As far as the one-to-many, you can do a webinar this weekend. What's the day? Today is Thursday, right? You could do a webinar this Sunday. You could go hard. Like today, you could start an ad today, or you could start making social media posts. You could do let's just say a $50, $100 ad, start running it to people that may or may not know you. You could do a workshop this Sunday. Sometimes last minute stuff work. I'm just being honest. Sometimes last minute stuff works. So if you want to do one-on-one calls, open up your calendar and let people know, like, hey, I'm now accepting clients. Go here, book a call. We're going to be covering this, that, and the third. And you pivot, you do your sales call, and then you move them into what it is that you have. On the flip side, you will put together a webinar or, some type of mini workshop that you can do this Sunday. And then you teach, you educate, you introduce yourself, and then you introduce them to your offer. So there's two different options depending on where you are. And if you don't know how to do that, if you don't know how to conduct a sales call, or if you do not know how to sell one-to-many, I highly recommend you join the UnCloned Launch Circle because we teach both. Okay? You can head over to unclonedlaunchcircle.com if you're interested. All right? It's currently open. So hopefully I answered that question. Okay. The masterclass training would be best. Yeah, so like you could totally do it. But this the thing. Oh, this is a good thing. Let me say this. You all have to move with speed. What are you talking about, Audria? Some of y'all move too slow. Okay? I love y'all, but some of y'all move too slow. You do not need 3 months to plan a webinar. You don't. Okay? You really don't. You do not need 90 days to make a couple graphics. Okay? At best, you just need some social media captions. You can pull out your phone, shoot a quick video, run an ad. Boom, you're done. When you do your webinar this weekend, you don't even need slides. Have a really good outline and come on camera and be dope. Okay? You don't even need a whole big old slide deck. But what you need to know more than anything, whether you're doing one-on-one or one-to-many, you need to know how to sell. That's probably the biggest thing. Like, can you put together a compelling offer that people want? And this is the thing. This is how you know your offer is good. It doesn't matter if your offer is one-on-one or one-to-many. If the offer is good, people will buy it. Does that make sense? I've had people DM me and say, hey, what should I join? I just started following you, blah, 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 blah. And then I tell them about the UnCloned Launch Circle. Or somebody might come to a workshop like the course ideation workshop we recently did, and we had 8 people to join. So that's one to many, and then I had somebody buy and join from the DM. So it works both ways. That's essentially what I'm saying. But if you don't know either, then you can't maximize on any one of them, right? What's the best launch style to launch a membership? We did a video series. Well, we did a live video series. Inside the launch circle, because you are in the launch circle. Inside the launch circle, we did a series called The Future of Launching. It was a 3-day live series, and that particular live video series is responsible for enrolling over 200 people at one time. So just keep in mind, if you go inside the launch circle, if you go on the bonuses and you watch The Future of Launching, that's the exact video series that we used when we first launched the launch circle, and we ended up enrolling over 200 people into the launch circle. So that's what I'm saying. Do you want to sell one-on-one, or do you want to sell one-to-many? So that's what I would recommend. So some type of video series, a live challenge, that works. Or you can do a 1-day event, that works. So you're in a launch circle, you already have access to a lot of these launch styles. But the more time that people can spend with you, the more likely they are to be like, okay, you're my person. Let me work with you. So hopefully that answered your question. All right. Okay, cool. So it doesn't look like we have any more questions. I pray that this was helpful. That this gave you some clarity on how you want to approach working in your business, and like how hard you want to work. And let me say this, and I just want to say it in the sweetest way humanly possible. Work in a way that is in alignment with how you want to show up in the world. Do not feel like you have to be a slave in your business. All right. Choose the method that works for you and go all in on it. All right. There is no right or wrong. It's just a matter of preference. So thank you all so much for tuning in to this live stream. Until next time, y'all, let's go live an uncloned life and build an uncloned brand. Bye, y'all.